Hey there, it's Quinn with PTSD while black. Um, whew, just doing some thinking. I mentor black women during the week, and it's been this common thread of grief around police brutality and around the grief of how we as black people are portrayed in the media, how we're viewed. And I'm sitting here, and I just got out of a meeting today. For recovering from underbeing, and it was predominantly black people there. And it really, somebody had mentioned the news cycle again, and I'm just painfully aware because my husband's a magician, his dad's a magician. At the crappy magic show that's going on in the United States of kill a black person, justify why the black person was killed, put the black person who died on trial versus looking at our system of policing that we have in our country, versus looking at how we are set up to quickly kill someone instead of de-escalating a situation. And I'm just seeing shooting after shooting that has happened. And what I'm noticing in the news cycle is talking to a girlfriend, and she's like, what I'm talking about, how we're seeing how blacks are being perceived as attacking Asians. And I just noticed that we had this huge rise in anti-Asian discrimination and abuse, especially after a guy walked into several massage parlors and killed 8 people. So there's definitely this mourning and this grief on this side about what's happening with our Asian brothers and sisters. And then we're also dealing with the trial of Chauvin for killing George Floyd. And I'm just sitting here looking at the two and the narrative that's being shown of, see how black people are abusing Asians and punching or pushing someone off the sidewalk. And I'm like, okay, so that's the justification for killing them. That's kind of the narrative that I'm seeing in the news cycle. There's that piece of it. Instead of acknowledging how there's been this discriminatory pattern towards Asian Americans due to COVID-19, and how the previous administration of the US was basically baiting and pushing racism. And so I'm seeing this, not the narrative, a crappy narrative of, don't look at what white supremacy and dysfunction has done or is creating in the country. Look over here at how blacks and Asians can't get along. There's that narrative that's going on. And then there's the next narrative that I'm noticing in the news cycle of mass shootings that are being reported. And some of the mass shootings, and I'm not trying to minimize anything, death sucks and killing other human beings sucks. But I'm noticing like a mass shooting is determining now like 2 or 3 people die. That's called mass. And I was talking to my girlfriend about this, that in Black communities, when we're talking about crime here, it's usually people kill those that they know. And mass shootings have been happening in Black communities for a long time, of like drive-bys and things of that nature, but never has it been identified as a mass shooting. I'm sorry, white people, y'all own that, okay? You're the ones that go into places shooting up people. And now you're trying to like lower the bar of the definition of what is a mass shooting. So again, it can be placed, look, Black people are mass shooters, and we need to be afraid of the Black people. And this is why it justifies imprisoning them and killing them. That's what I'm seeing is the news cycle and the narrative that's being done, instead of any kind of fucking accountability. Instead of being accountable with how we as a nation have treated one another, instead of having any kind of accountability towards redemption and healing, instead of owning how we have a for-profit system with the prisons that we're filling bodies. And this is what I really am noticing, is that as we've started having the focus on decreasing the numbers in the prison system, that's when I've noticed like the uptick and the increase in the police shootings, which is some bullshit. It's just straight up bullshit. But instead of addressing what happened during Reconstruction and having continuing slave labor in this country, through having people who are in prison, they basically are giving up their rights as citizens and any ownership of property. That then, if they're in prison, then they have to work off the trials of the crimes that they've done. Then you have cheap free labor. And so that's what our country is really operating on. If we discuss the cheap free labor, if we discuss our for-profit prison system, and hold ourselves accountable for what else can our economy look like? What else can our society look like? Saying, yes, we messed up and we've been trying to hold on to the old system of 400 years of slavery and just creating a new form of it. Instead, let's be accountable that our police were originally made from the slave catchers, and we've just taken that system of abuse, that system of pressure and judgment that we've had against one group of people, and we haven't fixed it. We haven't addressed it. We haven't acknowledged it. We're just still doing it. Yeah, I'm just seeing this distraction, this shitty magic show of racism in the United States. It's a really horrible magic show, and I'm just watching it like, really? So what's next? I just look at it as what's next. I know that one thing that I can see, and I love talking to this girlfriend, she's like, I can't wait. I can't spend my life waiting for white people to say that, yes, white supremacy is bad and we're hurting people. Can't spend our life doing that. We still have to thrive. We still have to live whole lives. And that means feeling full, deep, and expressive emotions and connecting with each other as a community. And that's what I'm going to spend my time doing. I realize that, yes, I can name what is the problem in this country, and I can be aware of the problem in this country. But I'm not going to spend my time anymore talking to white people about it. It doesn't matter. I'm going to spend my time loving up on Black people. I'm going to spend my time loving up on my fellow BIPOC community and affirming people, acknowledging that they are valid and that they are real. Because if I'm going to wait around for white supremacy to end, for me to live my life, to have a joyful and connected life, that's a waste of my damn time. God put me here on this earth for a specific reason, to show specific gifts and talents. And I know that one of mine is joy. One of my gifts and talents is love and connection and communication. God gave me this goddamn voice. It's beautiful. So I might as well put it to use. And so I'm just seeing my role in all this. I'm like, yeah, the news cycle is a bunch of bullshit. And at the end of the day, it's that I've got to spend my time loving on Black people because nobody else is going to do it if I don't. So I'm here for Black women, and people can get upset if I say that. I'm here for Black women. I'm here to support Black women because we're the least heard voice in society. Yes, I'm grieving and angry at the police shootings, but I'm recognizing it's a season. It's just like a season of any TV show here in America. It's just part of the season finale of kill a bunch of Black people and change the narrative, and then let's not look at what we're doing in other countries or the oppression that we're doing elsewhere. I've kind of noticed it, and it's a shitty show, and it needs to be canceled. Cancel this racist crap. All right? I'm going to go to the show where there is love, where there is support, where there is a validation, where there is community and accountability. That's where I get to spend my time. Since I live with PTSD, since I live with concussion, post-concussive syndrome, and seizure-like episodes, I ain't got time to waste on this crappy show. My life has some real flavor to it. It has some real meaning to it, and each moment has to matter in my life. I'm not going to waste it on this. I'm not going to spend my energy there. That's what I'm just recognizing. But I'm just saying I see it, and I love that there's this one viewer every time I go live, and it's awesome. So at least one person has heard exactly what I said. Whether you're with the CIA, I haven't worn my tinfoil hat. It's just great that at least one other voice has heard what I just said. But I'm here to love on Black people. And the shirt's backwards with the display, but it says "Not Today, Colonizer," because I'm just not here for it. I'm not here for it. Yeah, so with that, I'll pass, and you'll see me again really soon, because I'm going to start making videos more often, whether I'm stuttering or not, to talk about my post-traumatic stress disorder. and my post-concussive syndrome. Because, hey, there's a season for a crappy show going on right now in America of racism and police brutality. Might as well be a season for a show of healing and expression and community coming from this Black woman. All right. See you next time. Peace.